Welcome back to Extra Shots, the pod about the funniest stories in sport. This week, on the show today, Edgar Davids has his priceless art collection stolen. Carlos Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner are ensnared in a love triangle. And JP tells all about his nasty brush with the late Rolf Harris. My name is Jack. JP's here.
Morning, fellas.
Morning. Hi, Zach.
Morning, guys. How
we doing? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Having a wonderful first week of the Champions League.
Yeah.
It's back. Very much, yeah.
It's back. It's the biggie tonight. It's Newcastle, Barcelona. It's probably Newcastle's biggest fixture in 20-odd years, since they last hosted Barcelona at St James's Park.
Yeah, you'd imagine it's fucking electric on Tyneside
Yeah,
now.
can you not tell from my mood?
Oh, yeah.
we mags are fired the fuck up, I can tell you.
You haven't slept for a week, have you?
The old Southern mags. I'm getting the train after this. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a ticket like 100,000 other Newcastle fans who were are members of Newcastle, but couldn't get one in the ballot. It's been seriously competitive. But, you know, for Geordies who missed out, at least they'll be safe in the knowledge that the seats have gone to some truly diehard fans. You know, the sort of fans who stuck with the club through thick, thin, and Steve Bruce. Like the 45 kids from the High School of Dundee who have somehow all got tickets for the match. So the high school, it's a 20 grand a year private school.
Toffs.
In Dundee, so 184 miles away from Newcastle. About as local as I am. I've actually got a lot in common, me and the kids at high school, Dundee.
How the hell have they managed to get tickets above all these proper fans?
So these kids, the school basically was offering tickets to parents as part of a school trip. So 295 quid, your child could go to Newcastle and watch a Champions League game against Barcelona.
That is fucking nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's shit's like, I swear we used to just go to like the Imperial War Museum. Or like, what's that like medieval castle thing that everyone goes to?
We go to Arundel in our store. Arundel Castle for a day out.
Yeah.
Shitty
packed lunch.
My most exciting one was we went to Christmas market one time, and we did go to Germany, but it was
Germany?
24-hour overnight coach all the way to Germany, and we spent like 12 hours in the Christmas market, then got the coach back.
Worth it.
It was.
Yeah, I think seeing Lamine Yamal against Newcastle's gonna top that. Obviously, this has led to loads of complaints from supporters who didn't get tickets, and Newcastle have responded by cancelling the kids' school trip.
I love how much fan power Newcastle fans have. It's
I get one club city, maybe it's that.
Yeah.
It is a shame because I did love the idea of like the whole city centre tonight just filled with fans. There's like big topless fellas holding up signs being like genuine fan looking for ticket, and then this air-conditioned minibus pulls up and these kids in tartan blazers and straw boaters skip off singing "How the lads" in Latin. The housemaster conducting. Who's that team we call United? Who's that team we all adore? Harmonising.
Yeah.
Probably hooray the lads. Hooray
How did it
the
all
lads,
come
yeah.
out? How did this
So basically what's happened is back in the dark days of Mike Ashley, these tour operators had season tickets and then they could just sell them on. So apparently the club have tracked down 108 tickets that were owned by these tour operators, basically touts, who sell them to schools. Don't know why.
I suppose that's quite a weird loophole, isn't it? Because you can kind of sell them to schools as like a package deal.
And it kind of sounds a bit less grubby than.
Yeah.
I've actually been looking for a tout.
So these tour operators were back when they were like in the championship and
To be honest,
they were trying to
that hard.
shift tickets.
Yeah. Like before the PIF takeover, you could get away tickets to a game in London pretty easily.
Yeah, it's nuts now, isn't it? Newcastle specifically is more nuts than most teams.
If anyone has got an angle, a tout or otherwise, I'm interested. Zach got Oasis tickets that way. So right. Jammy bastard. But yeah, so the Newcastle have now clamped down on it due to fan fury, which is good.
Fair enough.
Does mean that the Strawberry Pub will not sell the 45 kombuchas they'd ordered in for the High School of Dundee kids.
I do feel a little bit sorry for the kids. Like, I'm sure they'd love the match.
Yeah, do you think many of them are diehard?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I
guess it's probably the nearest Premier League team, isn't it?
Sunderland have got a lot of fans in Scotland.
Yeah.
Dwayne, who works at the Upshot, he's a Sunderland fan.
Yeah.
Hi, Dwayne. Yeah, it feels bad because it's kids, but then again, they're probably those kids will be all right.
I think they've got ski trips to look forward to. This.
Sure, a weekend in their chalet will sort it out.
We've got Val Thorens. And to be fair, if for some reason the snow's not good this winter, there's always tickets left for Dundee versus Livingston this weekend, which is much more local. Actually, the kids from Dundee and their straw boaters might not be the only teenagers with their own stocks and shares portfolios who will be missing the game tonight, because our boy Lamine Yamal is an injury doubt. He missed Barca's game on Sunday. Barca smashed Valencia 6-0.
Saw that.
Yeah.
See it? Rashford got an assist.
Yes, first assist.
Yep, chalk it up. But yeah, Lamal missed that game through injury and is a doubt tonight. This is obviously coming off the back of his trip to Turkey we mentioned last week.
Which was very traumatic for him.
Well, he lost his passport. Didn't he?
The lads' holiday.
It all got very lads' holiday. Lost his passport. He did get a private jet back. But the video of him looking through a suitcase felt quite sort of recognisable lads' holiday stuff. And it wasn't just sunburn and an evil eye henna tattoo that he brought back from his lads' holiday, because Barca said that the injury keeping him out on Sunday was discomfort in the pubic area.
Chlamydia.
Does sound like the clap to me.
It does, yeah.
Bit of knob rot.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be pelvic tissue damage, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be.
There's a pubic bone.
Yeah.
As in, do you reckon he's got injured during a game and it's hit it, or it's the actual STI?
I think he's got knob rot. Off
Yeah.
one of those
Yeah.
70 bunnies.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel for the 70
Yeah.
bunnies who've now all got to get tested.
Because
Yeah.
it can flare up. I don't know. I
Can
don't
it?
know much about it, but
Yeah.
I've had a friend that had their testicles inflate when they had an STI.
Inflate.
At a football
How
match.
big?
I actually had it at a football match. I might as well tell everyone.
It was
Or was
me.
Were you
was the-
ruled out with
it
a
was-
pubic injury?
It was the League Cup final, and I'd caught something. I don't know whether I want to fuck it. I'll tell it. I'd caught something, and a couple of days it was like getting worse and worse and worse. And I got to the match, had a beer, went and sat down in a seat, and I just felt like something like blowing up in my trousers, and it was my testicles. Like there was an infection.
They were swelling. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were playing in this match.
No,
League Cup
you were a
final.
fan. Okay. No, I was like, maybe. I
did say it was the League Cup final.
Used to, yeah, I know, but I was like, because you used to play a bit of 11 aside, didn't you? I thought maybe it was your local League Cup final. But
I was like, I've got to go to my dad. I was like, I need to leave right now. And he was like, mate, I'm not leaving the League Cup final. You can fucking find your own hospital. So I had to go to Wembley Hospital.
really, you left the game.
Left the game, yeah.
And what did they do?
They
Did
drained my
did
testicles.
Did they do that? Did they
Yeah.
have like a little syringe? To
Yeah.
What was in there?
I had to like get a load of medication and they had to like drain it all out.
What was the score in the final?
Chelsea won. Like, we all
Your
knew
dad
they
stayed
would.
and saw it.
Yeah. It gave us all
Fair enough.
afterwards.
I think a self-inflicted injury like that, you can go to the hospital on your
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
Did you need help? I guess walking's
Big
a challenge,
time, mate.
isn't
You
it?
couldn't walk properly.
Fuck.
I had to get a
So they
black cab.
swelled up that quickly.
that quick, and it was so sore. And if Lamine's going through anything like that, then I
My heart
feel
goes
for
out
him.
to him.
He's not going to be lining up at St James's Park. Although to be fair, if what I know about private school initiations, I reckon they might know a thing or two about those kind of pubic injuries as well.
Yeah, maybe you got it. Alternatively, it could be spending a whole summer with Neymar. Also, Neymar is definitely the sort of bloke who would say that you can get it off toilet seats.
Yeah.
Definitely. Actually, Lamine wouldn't be the first Barca midfielder to miss a crunch match with that kind of injury, because back in 2019, Artur Melo, do you remember him? He was ruled out of the Clásico with a groin injury, but whispers in Spain were that it was in fact knob rot, venereal disease. Yeah. I say whispers, they could be wrong.
Wasn't there, we did a story earlier this year about the Boca Juniors dressing room, because there was an outbreak of syphilis going around in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, which I thought was confined to pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sort of Victorian disease we'd largely eradicated, unless you're like an opium smoking philosopher.
How is
Yeah.
it spread, syphilis?
Same way.
Right,
Same
oh,
way,
it's-
shagging.
oh,
I think you
yeah.
can get it from like blood as well. But I think
Right.
shagging was it was like pirates on shore leave, wasn't it? Just just filling their boots. But wasn't it quite big with sort of like Nietzsche had it, and it's what made him go mad. Yeah. So you learn a thing or two on this one, don't you?
Edison Cavani is going the same way.
Yeah, they've actually got a lot in common. Actually, speaking of the clap, today's Patreon episode is about the late, great Ozzy Osborne, his mental life story. And there's one story in it where Black Sabbath have just finished their America tour in the early 70s, where they've been doing like ungodly amounts of coke constantly, and they've also been just shagging groupies all the time. And at the end of the tour, the entire band and crew all go to hospital in this small town in America because they're about to go back to England to like their wives, and they all go into the hospital and like, can we have a preemptive STI shot? And the doctor lines them all up in one room, gets them all to take their trousers around the ankle, bums out, and just goes down the line, just shooting all of Black Sabbath and their roadies, the crew, everyone. What a scene.
I kind of like that.
Is that what they do in the Boca Juniors dressing room as well? In the Bombonera.
I definitely watched on a club rep program that they sell, like drug dealers sell the chlamydia meds, and everyone just takes it every day while you do a season.
It's probably not a bad idea.
Does it work
really,
like that?
is
Just
it?
preventative?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, that was your
ahead.
That's your rider when we do a live show. Just some of the chlamydia meds, please. Bit of penicillin. Anyway, that was the Osborne episode. I would say, in terms of the stories in his life, would you say the most?
I think
mental?
it's the most mad person that we've ever covered.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Fucking
man!
hell.
Like we did a list of stories. We like put down all the stories we were writing the intro, and it was like 40 stories long.
And apparently you make a lovely Sharon Osbourne as well.
Yeah, we did it in costume.
It is in costume. I'm Sharon, Jack's Ozzy. So sign up for Patreon to see that.
Yeah, he snorted
Nothing
bat
else.
shit. He poisoned his local vicar, fed his dog cocaine, survived a plane crash, bit the head off a dove, and bats, of course. And honestly, 35 other stories like that, maybe more. It's mental. So if you're not already a Patreon member, it's on Patreon now. You can listen to it. Then you can sign up at patreon.com/Upshot Towers.
So aside from his pretty insane spell managing Barnet, Edgar Davids always seemed like one of football's cooler customers. And
It's like
it turns out,
glasses.
I mean, he's just got a cool vibe, hasn't he? He's very,
Yeah.
very, very sort of sleek
Yeah.
European guy, very stylish. And it turns out that extends to breakups as well. So, where sticking needles in a voodoo doll or scratching your partner's face out of the family photos. Edgar decided to take the high road when he went through a breakup and handed his ex the keys to his multi-million-pound mansion and entrusted her to look after his 200 grand art collection. It's very continental of him, I feel like. Probably tries to set his brother up with her at a family function. And
Very trusting of him to do.
Yeah.
They're quite mature about that kind of thing, aren't
Yeah,
they?
the
Yeah.
Dutch, aren't they? Love that.
Unfortunately for Edgar, his trusting nature did backfire slightly when his ex decided to pawn his entire stash of art and made off with the cash. So it all dates back actually to 2014 when Edgar had this quite brief relationship with a woman called Nabila. He was living on the sort of outskirts suburbs of London at this time, and then moved house into the centre and gave her the keys to his mansion, which was also home to 188 grand's worth of contemporary art. So Edgar's a big art head apparently, which doesn't surprise me.
I get that vibe from him.
And over years he'd been collecting stuff from this New York gallery. And he was basically under the impression that Nabila was going to sort out moving his art into a storage unit in Enfield, it's a big yellow self-storage type place. And he thought that was all sorted, hadn't checked up on it for some years. And it turned out that she'd actually taken out tens of thousands in loans using these paintings as collateral. And then just fucked off, disappeared, failed to pay back her loans. So the pawnbrokers flogged these paintings to get their money back. And Edgar was none the wiser that any of this had happened until recently, when he got a message on Instagram from this bloke who lives in Hong Kong, who'd bought one of the paintings. And on the back of the painting, he'd found this inscription from the artist, like a little message written to Edgar Davids, just from the artist, and had got in touch with Edgar, just being like, just wanted to check, I just bought this painting, it's got little note to you on the back. I was just checking you definitely want to sell it. And he's like, what? My paper? No, I don't know what you're talking about. It's in the big yellow self-storage in Enfield, isn't it? And yeah, it turned out his ex had flogged his whole collection.
Fucking mental.
So yeah, she was in court last week. She pled guilty to fraud.
Oh, right.
So yeah.
Did he get any of them back? Presumably not.
I mean, they've been sold. I don't know if he's that bothered, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a few weeks' wages back in the day for Edgar Davids.
Yeah.
But yeah, it turns out she was a bit of a serial fraudster. She'd also stolen another friend's bank card and rented this $3,000 a month flat in Knightsbridge.
You got to know what you're doing if you're doing that amount of art to porn. Like, she would have made up like loads of documents to prove that she owned it.
Oh, really?
Shit,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
There's like a big. Yeah, there's.
I mean, I wonder whether Edgar was just like signing stuff off.
Yeah, just
Seems
fuck
like
it.
it's a liberal guy.
This is why
Yeah.
you got to cut your exes completely loose. Cold turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Relationship advice from Jack.
So it makes it sound like there's a coded message.
Is everything all right?
JP, this is your world, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know whether you knew this about me, Zach, but before I got into podcasting, I was in porn.
Why does this not surprise me?
Yeah, well, I spent my early 20s working for a pawnbroker, so that Edgar Davids story really resonated with me. And I've got a good one that involves actually a couple of Australian blokes, and one of them being Rolf Harris.
You did porn with Rolf Harris. How old were you, JP? Come on.
Too old for Rolf. I was in my mid-20s, and obviously you get direct leads in on the phones and on the website, whatever. And one day an Aussie bloke rang up, and he said he lived in South Kensington, and he wanted a loan against this big collection of Australian and Aboriginal art, which was quite an unusual one because we didn't really see much of that. But he was like, I want you to come around my house. I want you to have a look at the art. And we were like, right, okay, we'll go and have a look. And I used to love doing the home visits because everyone is an absolute fruitcake that wants these sort of loans. So went round there, and I swear to God, I've never seen that many didgeridoos in one place. There was like hundreds of these things. There was taxidermy, there was masks, there was like tons of drawings and art. And anyway, he starts showing me around the house, and it turns out he's like massively into Rolf Harris. Like massively. And at the time, Rolf was obviously like one of the most famous people in the UK. He'd just been shown at loads of galleries.
National treasure.
He was a national treasure, right? And this guy needed 100k quick, and I'd taken the loan, and this was a big loan at the time for the company. And I was like, right, well, I'm going to take it all on, and I'm going to do this thing. So we ended up loaning the guy about 100 grand. And within that 100 grand, we'd done at least 40 to 50 grand's worth of Rolf Harris art. Yeah. So we did the deal. It was a massive deal for the company, massive deal for me. You know, one of those ones where they ring the bell, and I've done like a really good job or whatever. And we do the loan. A couple of months go by, and the guy's paying interest, and it's all fine. And I was in the kitchen at work one day, and you know, you have the radio on in the background. I just hear like the breaking news bulletin from the BBC, like dun dun dun, breaking news: Rolf Harris arrested on sex offence charges. And you know those bits in a film where like the fucking fork drops and the milk falls on the floor, and I was just sitting there like, oh shit. So I was like thinking about what to do. I was like, do I say anything to my boss or do I just leave it? And I end up just like spending half a day like researching the case and like seeing whether it's going to go like guilty or not guilty or whatever. I was like, I've got to tell my boss. I walk into her office and I was like, hi, do you remember that art loan we did against the Australian works a little while back? She's like, yes. I was like, we've got a bit of a problem because I think Rolf Harris is a nonce. She was like writing something at the time. She just stops writing. She looks at me and she goes, you're going to need to get rid of that fucking art. I was like, oh, fuck. So I like ran back to my desk and I just started ringing everyone I know in the London market to see whether they wanted to take all of the collection off us. Because the guy's never going to pay us back, right? Like in our head, it's Rolf Harris. He's done. We're 100k in the hole. Nobody wants it. Actually, a major auction house, I probably shouldn't say the name of the auction house, but fuck it. Basically come round and they put an offer in on it. And I'm like, thank fuck, we're going to get rid of it. the offer goes out, and then about a day later, the boss rings my boss and goes, "We're not going to touch that art because it's Rolf, and Rolf's fucked." Right? So my name's Mud, Rolf's name's Mud, and I'm like stressing the fuck out. About a week later, I'm at my desk and the reception ring, and reception's like, "Hi there, Mr. So-and-so's here to redeem his Australian art collection." And I'm sitting there like, what? I'm like, how the fuck is he? Why the fuck is he here? Like, there's no reason for him to be here. And I turn up to reception. I'm not joking. He's in a Hawaiian shirt, pair of flip flops, pair of short shorts, and he's like, "Ashley, I'm so sorry to turn up unannounced, mate. I'm here to pay off my loan and get my Rolfs back."
What? What is he thinking?
Does he know about the news?
And I'm sitting there going like, I don't know, I've got to play it cool here. And he goes, "Oh, before you say anything," and I was like, "What's he going to say?" He's like, "I know my Rolf is not guilty."
Was he a mate of him or something?
Mate, I don't know what it was, but I was like, "Okay, no problem," but obviously I just like, the news is like pretty bad, and he's like, he was so convinced, he was such a massive Rolf Harris fan that he was convinced that he would redeem it. Within a couple of weeks, he'd be found not guilty and he could sell it for double. And I was just like, "Do you know what, mate?" I couldn't believe it. And then 2 weeks later, Rolf got done.
Yeah. Even if Rolf had been let off, I don't think the art's going up in value.
Yeah.
I brought security down with me because I was like, the guy's going to fucking try and hit me or like do something. And he was just like, "Don't worry, mate."
That's amazing.
Wow, shit.
He's probably still got them.
Yeah. And literally, they've gone from like 8,000 to 9,000 a piece to like 90 quid a piece.
Yeah, I was going to say, would anyone buy them?
Yeah.
What's the art actually like?
He's actually pretty good, some of it.
Go on at home, actually. What is it? It's like, is it
So he does
landscapes?
like sketches. He's done like stuff in like the medium of like Lowry and stuff. He's like quite a good painter. I mean, obviously he's not a great bloke, but it's like the worst thing that can happen to an art collection.
Hitler was decent artist as well, wasn't he?
Wasn't Picasso a bit of a nonce?
Well, I guess so.
Gauguin?
Yeah, they're all a bit
they're
noncy, aren't
Most
they?
of them were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was sort of part of the game. Rolf was born in the wrong era.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's amazing. So he's probably still got them now.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can
The
do.
last guy holding out for Rolf Harris.
I did actually have a look before I got on it, see if I recognised any of the works. I didn't, but there was like one that was similar, and it was $6,000, and it was like 60 quid.
Fucking
Really?
Yeah, so
hell.
no one's going to buy it.
Yeah,
are they?
That almost seems...
Shall I get one for the
We've got a bit
podcast
of
studio?
spare wall space in here. I've been thinking we need to mix up the studio.
I'm not buying you noncy art, mate. I'm sorry.
For the Rolf episode. Apparently Rolf Harris, right after he got out of jail, he's dead now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right after he got out of jail, the first place he went was a primary school.
Oh,
It's like, mate,
what?
come on.
What was he doing? Just
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
probably guess.
Giving back.
That's an
Yeah.
incredible story. Oh, Edgar Davids got off pretty
Doing
lightly.
an art
then.
class, I think.
Now, selection for the Ryder Cup. It's one of the biggest honours in golf, pretty much. Everyone wants to be a part of it. And with a week to go till the famous tournament, the European stars are preparing in quite different ways. So Tyrrell Hatton, the Englishman, he found out about a month ago he'd been picked while he was playing a tournament in Indiana and proceeded to go on an absolute bender with John Rahm, the Spaniard, who's also in the team. So Tyrrell said, "I woke up the next day, I had sick all down my arms, both sides, all down my shirt. I looked in the mirror, I had sick on my face and in my beard." So apparently they just sort of like had a lock-in this hotel where they were nailing like strawberry vodka, margaritas, beers, wines, Disaronno. Tyrrell fell asleep at the table at one point. He said, "God, it was aggressive. It was horrible. I don't ever want to get in that state again."
Sounds like something out of the Ozzy Osborne episode.
Yeah.
I quite appreciate the honesty.
So
there.
do I.
It's so rare that sport. I guess golf is a sport where you can be like that.
Yeah. As you said, it's very rare for a sportsman to be that up front.
Yeah, so it's nice. I almost feel like he's reveling in it too much.
Yeah.
but it was fucking messy. There's an element of sort of uni freshers rep about it, but
Yeah.
I like it. I like Tyrrell. And a good way to enjoy being selected. Rory McIlroy, who's probably Europe's star man, he went for a different angle. Rory's always been wrapped a bit tight. He's liable for the odd angry cry after a match or ripping his shirt when he bogeys a hole. So when he found out he was included, rather than celebrating with a few cans with his teammates, Rory went for a slightly more intense preparation approach. He has been listening to fans calling him a choking little cunt while he tries to putt. So basically, the European team have got these VR headsets which mean that you can recreate the course they're going to be playing on in Long Island. And it also has an audio element where you can recreate the sounds of the course. And obviously the Ryder Cup is known for really aggressively rowdy fans, particularly in America. They'll do a lot of like taunting and jibing of the European players.
Even when they're putting and stuff.
There'll be the odd person who goes too far and does it during a shot.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But
that's
like
fucking-
all through it, it's golf, but not as you know it. The crowd, it's like football crowds.
I kind of rate
Really?
that.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a great watch. Tune in. And Rory has wanted to get ready for this, prepare for the abuse. So he's been using the VR headset to listen to abuse from artificial fans. So a bit like, do you remember Arteta before the Liverpool?
Yes.
Before Arsenal played Liverpool, he like recreated the cop and was playing like "You'll Never,
Never
Walk,
Walk
Alone"
Alone,
in
yeah.
training. It's like that, but instead, Rory's dialed the abuse up to 100. So he said, you can get them to say whatever you want them to say. You can get them to go as close to the bone as you like. And he wouldn't say what abuse he'd gone for, but he said he told the guys with the VR headsets, go as far as you can. So I imagine they're just like, McIlroy, little weasel-faced ass! Or maybe recreating his ex, Caroline Wozniacki.
Yeah.
As he's on the first tee ready to play his shot, Caroline's just sobbing behind him. Why, Rory, why?
I feel like he secretly enjoys that though, doesn't he? Like,
Yeah, he's a bit of a masochist.
masochism, yeah.
He's a funny
Do you
fellow.
think the like backroom team are having to go into the studio and record this
Yeah.
abuse?
Just
get
type
it
it into a
really
bot.
personal.
That is a fun job, sitting
Yeah.
down. And, How
Yeah.
can I abuse Rory McIlroy?
using Rory, yeah.
I do like the idea they finally go really far and they're like, yeah, you treated Caroline like shit. He's just like, guys, that was way too far. He's obviously not prepared for it to
Yeah.
go that far.
Jesus.
Yeah, he is a bit of a masochist though. So before the Masters a couple of years ago, he filed for divorce on the eve of it, which we've mentioned before. But what I didn't realise is to do it, he hired Tiger Woods' lawyer, who does sort of, that's the guy.
Some Tiger Woods
busy,
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. He knows how to bury a body or two, put it that way. Bit of dirty work comes easy to him. So this bloke roped in a local policeman in Florida where the McIlroys live, and they turned up to the McIlroys' house. His wife answered the door and they handed her these annulment papers and were just like, you've been served.
Just local police just do that sort of thing in Florida.
Can't get that done here, can you?
Can you imagine just going down to your local station and being like, no, I really can't face to break up with my girlfriend myself. Do you mind doing it for
Got
me?
a bit-
Of course I can.
Got a bit of life admin for you to do today. Is that all right?
We're dumping the world number two's wife. Apparently the legal papers included the words, a phone call will not protect you. You may want to call an attorney right away.
So American.
So fucking Liam Neeson. To be fair, I get why Rory wants to be prepared for the worst, because the Ryder Cup crowds, they are a bit much. They will yell all sorts of abuse. Danny Willett, the English golfer, his brother wrote an article ahead of a Ryder Cup one year describing the American fans as cretins and fat, stupid, greedy, classless bastards. And then he said they were pudgy, basement-dwelling irritants stuffed on cookie dough and pissy beer, pausing between mouthfuls of hot dogs so they can scream "Baba Booey" until their jelly faces turn red.
Not far off.
It's pretty good. Does paint a picture.
Yeah.
Basement
He
dwelling.
also described them as having medicated wives, which I thought was pretty good. Pretty good. But if you think the fans are bad, wait until you hear about the players, because on Tuesday, our next episode is a Ryder Cup special about the biggest wrong-uns in golf. Got some truly heinous stuff in there about a few current players, a few absolute legends of the game. Tiger's in there, John Daly's in there, but some of the sort of classic old gentlemen like Arnold Palmer, he's in there. And Greggy, our guest, had some real revelations that I was shocked by, guys. So yeah, tune in for that. But I'm looking forward to the Ryder Cup. It's spicy. It is mad how many footballers have gone behind bars in recent years. We've chronicled the likes of Quincy Promise and Ronnie Stam, but that's just the drug dealing side. We haven't really talked about all the nonsense. And people often joke about Prison FC, saying that there's so many players inside that you could actually form a whole team of convicted footballers. And we've also talked about the fact that, because they play football inside, we've talked about the fact that, like, is there like a fraudsters team? Is there a nonces team? Do they sort of play by crime? It's all a bit of a laugh. Turns out that actually happens. So Robinho, the former Man City striker, he's serving a 9 stretch in Brazil at the moment for some fairly heinous sex crimes, which we're not going to go into. But he, as naturally, he's wanted by all the teams in prison. And it turns out that he is the manager of the abusers team who regularly play against the murderers in the prison yard. So they are literally
Why isn't he playing?
I don't know. It's weird that he's gone for the dugout, isn't it?
I mean, he's going to be a target, isn't he?
Yeah.
Especially if you're coming up against the murderers.
True. He's probably going to get fucking nailed.
Yeah, but I mean, the abusers are probably quite a tough bunch to manage themselves. I don't really want to be managing the nonsense.
It's quite exploitative.
Yeah.
Some
Wouldn't want-
gaslighting in that dressing
Yeah,
room.
wouldn't want to be a youngster in that dressing room, put it that way. Tough one to break into.
He wasn't like the toughest of players, though, was he?
No, but I mean, he would dominate a prison team.
yeah, I mean, he's one of the
Yeah.
most gifted players of his generation.
Yeah.
Isn't he? So I
But
imagine
maybe he
he'd
is
be-
because he's a nonce. Maybe he's scared that he's
Right,
going
he's gonna get fucking
It's a good
nailed.
way of clattering someone.
Is Ruby, is he a nonce? I thought it's just a...
Well, some people use the term nonce quite broadly.
Oh, okay. All right.
Rolf
Like Rolf
Harris.
Harris.
Some people would just use it for the Rolf Harrises, and some
Yeah.
people would include Robinho.
We can
i.e.
include
Okay.
both.
All right.
Yeah. It's sort of, it's that, supposedly it comes from not on communal exercise.
Oh, really?
Not on normal communal exercise, which is what they would put on the nonsense thing, because they get beaten up in the prison yard. Which is
Right.
probably why he manages. He's probably doing it from his cell, just barking out through the bars.
So when you see manager, when they've been like sent upstairs now on the mobile phone.
On
Yeah.
his tactics board. But yeah, it's I'd say it's pretty mental. They are actually doing the teams by crime.
That's fucking
Yeah.
And
nuts.
also pretty shit.
There's some tough fixtures in there, aren't
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're just in for something quite blue collar, like fraud, and
Yeah.
you get the fixture list and it's like back-to-back fixtures against the nonces and the murderers, terrorists. It's pretty tough.
there? Got nonces away this weekend.
to get naughty.
Getting a result there is famously hard.
God, I bet the Brazilian prison teams are good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
Well, Ronaldinho played in his. We've talked about it before.
Really?
And he refused. There was a tournament in which the prize was a suckling pig, but he refused to play in that. But he did play. He was in for forging a passport. It's quite a mild crime
Yeah,
compared. But he did play in a match, and he scored and set up every goal, 11-2. So he
Wow.
just dominated.
I feel like Ronaldinho's made for that sort of cage football.
Street
yeah,
football,
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
it was-
thinking about the Nike advert here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of tournaments you didn't know existed, so Las Vegas, it normally plays host to things like Floyd Mayweather title fights or 600 night runs of Britney Spears chained to a stage singing "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time." But there's a new show in town later this year because the Microsoft Excel World Championships are rolling into Vegas. It's gonna get rowdy. Police are on
Fucking hell.
high alert. There's gonna be hordes of drunken accountants roaming through the streets, sporting the ties of their favourite spreadsheet gurus. I'm expecting a lot of flares up bums.
Oh yeah,
Maybe someone dressed up as that Microsoft paperclip.
Clippy.
Clippy.
Cliffy, yeah.
Apparently he's making a comeback, Clippy.
Oh really?
It was the most annoying little piece of software that was.
Yeah. Did you ever use it? As in, it's.
I think it's quite sweet,
It's
isn't
quite
it? I think it'd be
sweet,
quite nice
yeah.
to bring it back. Yeah.
Glad it's dead.
How's it coming back
I
then?
think they're bringing it back in like an AI form.
Oh,
aren't they?
right. I can see
Okay.
that.
Oh, that could actually be quite.
The Excel lot will
I'd
be
like a
buzzing.
face.
So they're probably a bit above. They probably think of that as quite normie shit.
Yeah,
Mm.
they're into more niche shit.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining the fan banners at that tournament. Can I have your mouse mat?
Bill Gates, can I have your mouse?
Can you sign my hard drive?
But no, this is a legit sporting competition. So it's been going on since 2021. This tournament. Basically, the way it works is competitors have to complete various sets of quite complicated Excel tasks using their formulas. And there's been national qualifiers for it going on all this year. There's one British entrant actually to this year's final.
Come on.
Hardang.
Come on.
This is our
this is our boys.
coming home.
Should we get out there?
Yeah, he's a Vietnamese-born stockbroker who lives in Scunthorpe.
Scunny.
And he won the British belt recently to qualify
Belt.
for the world.
Oh, there's
It's
a belt.
it's a genuine belt. It's like it's
looking at it.
a boxing belt.
Wow.
We're looking at a picture of him now.
Do you not want a bit more processing power?
Oh yeah.
It's handicapped.
Maybe he plays light on his feet.
Yeah. I love that there's a belt. Do you
Yeah,
reckon
it's
he walked
great.
into the pub that week with the belt on?
Yeah.
And also, what's the t-shirt?
The t-shirt, I think it's
Dungeons and
like
Dragons.
no, I think it's a
Is that like every...
royal. It's like the list of royals. It's all the
Oh, it's like a family
it's a
tree
family
of royals.
tree of royals.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's
that's
an art
great.
son. Yeah, I'd wear that. I'd actually wear that.
So yeah, Hardang, he's some talent.
I bet.
But it remains to be seen how he'll cope with the pressure on the biggest stage of all. Do you want to see the climax from last year's final?
Yes, I do.
God, yeah.
looking around. He's taking his headphones off. What is he doing? Okay, is he safe? Is he safe? This is bold. This is bold. His arms in his arms. No. The guy is flexing.
19,
He's flexing.
18,
He's flexing. What is he doing? Wait, look at this guy. Look at
13, 10, 9.
Oh, look at the belt.
Come on.
Studio.
It is all over, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all age. We have our new winner.
There's a crowd.
There's a crowd
They're
there.
standing up.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
Let's move over here to the center of the stage.
Is this like an esports venue?
It does look like that, yeah.
There's a crowd. Do they cheer? Do they sing?
It does look quite like an esports crowd, really. It's quite glamorous.
Yeah.
But my question, can he do it on a cold Tuesday night at Slough Trading Estate? Because, I'm also glad to report that the Excel Championships do have a theme tune.
Fantastic.
It's a banger.
That's actually pretty good.
World Championship. I've had this stuck in my head all week.
What did he say? Who's going to be the spreadsheet?
Going at the
king?
spreadsheet bin.
Oh, in the spreadsheet bin.
The lyrics are amazing. Keep going. The lyrics are really good.
It's the battle of the titans, the best keyboard tappers in the land. They've all been training for this moment. Who's getting stuck in the function sand? It's the
It's a fucking banger.
Yeah.
Does he at any point crack a joke about a winning formula? Because to me, that's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I feel like there's some good puns
Yeah.
available, aren't there?
Yeah.
I'm getting kind of Pokemon vibes from that.
Yeah,
You know
it is a
why?
bit like the Pokemon song, isn't it? And probably a similar
Yeah.
crowd, just 20 years older. There's a fucking tournament for everything.
Yeah, I love it. We came across another one this week. There was a stone skimming world championship on an island in Scotland somewhere.
Isn't the record
there was
like hundreds or something?
It was
stupid?
this year. The guy who won, it was 177 meters. He skipped a stone.
Oh, so they do distance,
But-
not.
yeah, it's
total skims.
distance, which I actually think they should
to do skips.
Well, you
skips,
probably want
but
fewer
it's quite-
skips, right? Because every time you
Yeah,
touch the water, you lose.
you need a minimum of 2 skips.
Oh, so
your
it's actually
throw.
about bouncing.
Right.
It's actually more about length. Yeah,
I think that's better.
Do you think? I don't know, but it's so satisfying.
There's
when you
more.
get-
There's
when you
more.
get
Yeah, there'd be
multiple
more to
skips.
look at.
It's going to be harder to. You need real VAR if you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get quite forensic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sport needs money ploughed into it. I think
It's
just to
quite
get it up to
watchable, isn't
speed.
it?
Yeah.
Well, there was a cheating scandal this year. Apparently, people because
How can you cheat?
it's done on this island of Scotland with a population of 60, I think, and I think it was an old like slate quarry basically. So there's lots of good stones there, but the idea is that you've got to find your own stone. But people had been grinding down their stones to make them
really? And then
more round
placing
rather
them.
than tampering with
You're
their
allowed to
stones. No,
in
they've
any way
got to be like natural ones.
Yeah.
But
within
it's
a
part of the
certain
competition
size.
that you go and like look around the island for.
Yeah, I think so.
For some good slate.
Yeah.
If I was in that tournament, I would call myself Granite Chucker.
Nice.
Beat that. You could be
That
Steve
is
Stone.
good.
John Stones is a good
John
one.
Stones.
Stones,
yeah. Slate. Is there a good Slate one?
Andy Gray, Greystone.
It's coming down. Handy Gray, maybe. You're not going to be
Gray.
Granite Chucker.
No.
Yeah,
Try.
Granite checker.
You go back to your spreadsheets while I skim
Yeah.
some stones. Actually, I'd say of the three of us, I'm the most spreadsheet and the least stone skimming.
Going back to more mainstream sports, have you guys seen this chat about a love triangle between Carlos Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner?
I haven't.
So obviously, they're the big two in tennis at the moment. They won all of this year's Grand Slams, faced off again at the US Open final recently, which Alcaraz came out on top on. And it emerged afterwards that he'd been dating Brooks Nader, who's this swimwear model.
Quite a 90s job title, that swimwear model.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they still exist.
Yeah, still exist.
You can still find them.
But according to Brooks' sister, she was also dating Yannick Sinner before the tournament.
Wow. Wasn't
so-
there a Hollywood film that came out?
Yeah, the
basically this?
Zendaya one. What was
Yeah.
it called?
Challenges.
You've seen that?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Is that the premise? The world number 1 and 2 shagging the same girl?
No, not exactly. But there is like kind of love triangle.
I think that was a different
in it.
film we watched.
Yeah.
Actually, wasn't
It's
it?
just tennis
Is it
for you.
Wimbledon, the Kirsten Dunst one?
That's such a good film.
Yeah, I love that film.
But yeah, anyway, it sounds like Alcaraz came out on top in that one too. in
Ooh.
that
Oh.
thing, which might explain why Yannick Sinner got his BBL lately. Just trying to.
What,
If you're trying to woo a swimwear model, then you've got to get a nice booty.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely banging Alcaraz over Sinner, no
Yeah.
question. Sinner's
Yeah.
not bad looking, but
Yeah.
Alcaraz is.
I don't know.
Alcaraz has got the charm.
He's got charm.
It's a different type. You know, some people are more into that side. Sinner's more like sort of like almost Nordic look.
Yeah,
He's
like
from very top of it,
Viking
yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
but quite skinny Viking.
Whereas
Yeah.
I want my sexy Latina Alcaraz. Although
Yeah.
Yannick's now got the Brazilian butt lift, so I'm
Yeah,
confused.
yeah.
as
As
is she. Must be quite an ego trip to be shagging both the world number one and two, especially
Yeah,
as they're
playing
like
them off.
they've won the 4 slams between them this year. They had that US Open final.
Do you think this is going to affect their friendship or bring them closer together?
They seem to have quite a good relationship, don't
Yeah,
they? So
just
I don't know, maybe
It's too good
swap-
natured.
mutual respect.
Swapping shots and sperm by the looks of things.
Swapping sperms. Get out. Also, slightly puts paid to my thing that Alcaraz is going out with Emma Raducanu. Which I've been
Oh,
telling
yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
he's
think
not.
It's,
Yeah.
I think it's not true.
There's always rumours about Emma, but nothing seems to ever come to fruition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that Brooks Nader's previous boyfriend is a bloke called Prince Constantine Alexios of Greece and Denmark. Which are there still?
That doesn't sound
Titles
like
like
he
that?
still exists.
He sounds
people
like the
that.
fucking haemophiliac nephew of the Tsar, not a Manhattan fuckboy. That's some 19th century shit.
Yeah. Actually, one man who could only dream of being embroiled in a tennis love triangle is Danish bad boy Holger Rune. Do you see he was outed recently for his thirsty DMs to fellow pros? So Anna Kalinskaya, who's the Russian world number 31, she'd actually previously dated Nick Kyrgios and Yannick Sinner. I feel like it's quite an incestuous world. Tennis.
It's like uni sort of vibe, isn't it?
But she revealed in an interview that a desperate Holger Rune had asked her out 10 times.
a lot.
Eventually he gave up. Rune, I should say, does deny her version of events. He said, "We might have cultural differences that make Anna read a comment on a story as an invitation to a date." Which,
So he's like
he said-
replying to her Insta story.
yeah,
Yeah.
With like fire.
yeah,
Will you go out with me,
that kind
please?
of thing.
Why won't you fuck me? Please.
Yeah, which, would be a little bit easier to believe if Anna was the only one spilling the beans on Holger's flirty advances. But her fellow Russian star, Veronika Kudermetova, also revealed, she said of Holger, "I told him, boy, I'm probably too old for you. And if you looked at my Instagram, you'd see I have a husband." He replied, "Oh, sorry." Since then, he doesn't even say hello to me.
How much older is she?
He's 22, she's 28. So
Sugar
Well, it's
mama.
not that-
Sugar
it's not
mama.
that big. He's got a slightly dodgy rep already as a bit of a
he's a bit
bad
of a-
boy, if that's the right term. He's a bit of a wanker, isn't he?
apparently so.
To
Yeah,
be fair,
but
I think I could choose my words carefully here, but like that's probably quite. If you're a top tennis player, isn't that sort of how you get laid?
That's how you kind of vibe
you
it,
just,
yeah.
you just
DM people.
yeah,
And
and normally it works.
I kind of feel like on the tennis tour, the reason it's so incestuous because they're all traveling around the same
Yeah, they
tournaments
can't-
all the time.
You're
So
not
you're,
going to see a lot of people, are
yeah, it must be difficult to
you?
build up like relationships with people who are not like doing on the traveling on the same tour as you.
Really agree.
Deep in.
it's all a bit. Yeah,
Um,
it's a shit life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's what we got time for, isn't it?
I think so.
All right, I enjoyed that one immensely. I'm off to practice my Excel formulas.
Yeah.
We will see you guys on Tuesday for our Ryder Cup special about golf's biggest wrong-uns, or you can check out the Ozzy Osborne episode on Patreon right now. Patreon.com/Upshot Towers. He also snorted a line of ants, didn't he? Which I like.
Snorted line of ants, shat in elevators.
I'd imagine
And licked his
licked up-
friend's piss.
licked up.
And that all happened in the same day, those three.
I'd imagine like ants are the type of thing that would like stay alive inside
Yeah.
the fucking
Yeah,
brain.
yeah, yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
tickly.
Yeah.
I'd rather lick we discussed this on the pod, I'd rather lick up my friend's piss
100%.
than snort a line of ants.
Yeah,
I'd
100%.
definitely rather that than shit in an elevator.
100%.
Other people were in the elevator as well. Okay.
Didn't you do that at Glastonbury?
Me?
Yeah. Didn't you drink a cup of piss?
I actually not a cup. I basically got into bed after the first night at Glastonbury, and I was really thirsty, and I was next to my mate. There were like 6 of us in the tent, and before we went out, I'd filled up my water bottle, which is like a black water bottle with
Piss.
with water, so I could have some in bed. But I couldn't find it, and I was looking. I found his next to me, and I was like, oh, "Fuck it, I just wanted to sip." Just your mouth's so dry, so I had a sip, and I was like, "Weird, it's warm." I was like, "That's so weird. It's warm. Why?" And I literally was like, "Maybe he's put like rum or like I don't know." I honestly didn't cross my mind what it was until the next morning. I was like, "Oh man, I had some of your water. Have you seen mine? I couldn't find it, so I had some of yours." And he was like, "You didn't drink out that bottle, did you?" And he'd fucking pissed in like a chilly water bottle that you use to keep water cold. I only had one gulp. But I think it's fucking weird that he did that. Like
that's a bottle that you would reuse. Like,
Yeah.
I could kind of see, like, if you can't be fucked, go to the toilet, do it in a plastic bottle that you just chuck away.
Yeah,
but not the same one that you bring to the
chili.
I mean, I
But you
think just
keep
get
a
up
coffee
and go
in
for a
to the
piss,
office,
but yeah,
yeah.
not one that's for keeping water cool. And that's why it was so warm, because the insulation had kept it warm.
Been there for 4 days.
Yeah, so yeah.
Tangy.
I was like, fucking hell, I'm 36 and this is what I'm doing. I'm drinking my next piss. It's fucking pathetic. But yeah, so I'd definitely choose that
Yeah.
over the ants.
Yeah.
Already have.
Yeah, you already have chosen.
And on that note, thanks a lot for listening. Thanks, JP.
Pleasure as always.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Thank you.